What is up, everybody? It's time for some Grimgrin Zombie Circus. Hope you're ready for some deep-fried zombie brains. I am. It's pretty good. Had two helpings of it. I have to say, it's quite yummy. God, I'm stupid sometimes. I'm sorry, guys. A little too silly. We are playing Grimgrin, Corpseborn, playing against Yasova. Okay, now as far as opening hand goes, we've got Swamp, Urborg. I like Buried Alive a lot. I like Liliana. I like Read the Bones. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and keep. We're a little light on blue mana, but we can make this work. And wait for our opponent to... Okay, there he decides to keep, and our opponent's going first. So we're playing Grimgrin Corpseborn. When it enters the battlefield, doesn't untap during our untap step. Then we may sack a creature, or not then, but we can sacrifice a creature and untap Grimgrin and put a +1 counter on it. Then, whenever it attacks, we get to destroy target creature our opponent controls. So, really fun playing with Grimgrin. We're playing against Yasova Dragonclaw. Trample at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may pay 3 mana. If you do, gain control of target creature with power less than Yasova's power until end of turn. Okay. Yes, I think this might be the first time I've played against her. This is why I enjoy Commander so much. Is if you play Modern, you there's about the same 20-30 decks that you really need to be aware of. But when you play Commander, man, it's almost always different every single time. Very enjoyable. So next turn, we're looking at getting down Swamp. If we can get into some quick mana, we can get into Read the Bones. But we do have Buried Alive, which allows us to get like a reoccurring graveyard threat out of the graveyard, so we can start sacking it to Grimgrin. Vengeful Pharaoh. Okay, let's go get down Swamp. And since there's nothing else to do, we're going to get down... Well, I may hold on Golgari Thug just in case he's got a removal spell, because Golgari Thug goes back on top of the library. And I don't want to miss out on a potential land, so we're going to hold off on Golgari Thug. Then pass the turn to our opponent. I'm digging the foiled out Evolving Wilds, though, man. Good for him. Also, on a side note, guys, we do have a zombie dunking booth set up at MTGOTraders.com, so head over there if you want to put one of your loved ones in there. A little bit of a, I guess, more of a warning. Be sure and get them out if they fall into the booth, the dunk full of zombies. It's the longer they stay in there, the higher percentage chance of them turning into a zombie because, it takes a zombie bite. But, I don't know your family's dynamics. Maybe you'll think it's fun. Maybe they'll actually enjoy it turning into a zombie. So, whatever makes you happy, man. Okay, so we're a little tight on mana. We need to get into one more land, and then we can Read the Bones and hopefully dig into a couple more lands. Gets an Oracle. Okay. You got Clone on top. Esper Panorama. I will take that. So let's get down Esper. Let's swing in Bloodghast. Every point of damage matters. Coming in hot for 2. Dropping into 38. And let's go and Read the Bones right now because we desperately need to get into some type of card draw or fast mana. Dimir Aqueduct. Gonna put the Swamp on the bottom, put that on top. That way we at least get into a blue source. Swiftfoot Boots, okay. And then we can chunk Fate Stitcher into the graveyard. Yeah, I like that. And then we can unearth it for pretty quick, some cheap mana right there to untap Grimgrin. Yeah, I like that. And I need to write down what's on the top of his library so we can kind of keep up with it. I'm pretty sure the last thing that we saw was a clone. I might have missed it, but I know there's a clone on top. Okay. Got a Skirt Stag Cultist on top. Does 2 damage to our creature player. Okay. Alright, so coming hot for 2 right now. Drop us down to 36. Now let's go ahead and... How do we want to sequence this? So we can go ahead and tap for black mana. Get in some Buried Alive action. Or we can get down Liliana. Or we can get into some Swiftfoot Boots action because we'll get down Dimir Aqueduct. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. We do have some choices. So let's go ahead and go... Since we already have a way to untap Grimgrin pretty quick with Fate Stitcher, I may go for Liliana. Well, if we get down Liliana, then we can't really do anything with her right now until we get something out there. Let's go for boots. That we can give Grimgrin. Yeah, I like that. So we'll tap that right there. Get the Demir Aqueduct down. And then bounce the Urborg back to her. And that way, you know, if we had some type of land destruction spell, we'll at least keep our Urborg in our hand. Yeah, and then pass the turn. So he's got Culling. Like this guy definitely has an interesting build of Yasova. But now, as far as next turn goes, we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can get down Grimgrin, and then we can sack the Bloodghast, but we're not gonna be able to equip Swiftfoot Boots right there. But we could kind of do a little bit of a setup a little bit if we want to. Yeah, let's see. I think he doesn't have the mana, but he could gain control of Bloodghast if he wants to. But no, Bloodghast, he's good, man. Alright, so he's swinging in for 4 right now. Drops down to 32. Yeah, I'm waiting on the Buried Alive because just in case we get into some type of living death, then we can set it up perfectly. So let's go and get down Swamp right now. Let's go and get down Urborg. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so they'll gain control until end of turn. We can get down Liliana, that'll be 1, then we can still have Remand mana up. Yeah, we're going to do that. Let's get down Liliana. That way we can get her flipped somehow. And then we could swing him in Bloodghast and he could block right there, but he's not going to block on his commander. And then Liliana would flip, and we'd still get a 2-2 zombie, but he'd be able to swing in. Yeah, we're going to hold off. I like getting Liliana down right now because we can get down one more land and get down Grimgrin and be able for sure flip her next turn. And then we can swing in and blow up Yasova. Ooh. We got a Devastation Tide on top of our opponent's library. Definitely want to make note of that. And do we want to go ahead and remand this right now? I doubt he's casting anything else with double red, so we're going to go ahead and remand that. Hopefully we can get into some type of shuffle effect for our opponent. Get into Reform. Okay. Gets it down again. Well, he may not cast it on his own stuff, so if we get down Grimgrin, he's for sure going to cast it, so we're going to have to wait on that one. Okay, so he's swinging in right now. We're looking at 8 coming in hot. And we can block right there, which will kill his Oracle. I guess he can do the culling. Yeah, we'll go and force it right there for him to sacrifice it. Gets a charge counter on there. Okay. Now, if we get down Grimgrin, he does have Devastation Tide, return all non-land permanents to their hands. Trying to make sure, because if he draws it, then he's not gonna. He doesn't have an extra blue mana to cast it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because if we go for like go big or go home, get Grimgrin out, flip Liliana, he's definitely gonna cast it for its miracle cost. So I think what I want to do is just get down Swamp, and then just pass the turn. That way, like casting Devastation Tide for its miracle cost just doesn't really seem that good to him. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for that. And we're going to swing it for 2 with Bloodghast. Okay, coming in hot, dropping down to 37. And we can go ahead and bury it alive too if we want to right now, just to kind of make use of our mana. Yeah, let's go and bury it alive. I like doing that. Let's go for... Now, if we're getting into Patriarch's Bidding or something like that, or Living Death, I want to have a nice little zombie package for the graveyard. Because we'll have Blood Gas, but we'll have to get into land to get that going, but we'll still make it work. So let's go for... Coming out of the graveyard, let's get an Undead War Chief. No, let's get... Actually, let's get... Well, if we go Grave Titan, we'd have to get into Living Death. But we also can get into Tutor that way. Let's go for Undead War Chief. Let's go for Diagraph. Actually, no, I'm gonna just go like I'm gonna just play like we're gonna draw Living Death. So let's go for CDC. No, if we don't do CDC, then we'll be able to draw into it. Sorry, guys. So let's go Undead War Chief. Let's go Grave Titan. And let's get a Zombie Lord, Blood Arch type effect. Yeah, I like that. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and pass the turn, because if we get anything else out, then he might be tempted to cast it for its miracle cost. So, okay. And he does have that land on top, but it's going to come into play tapped. So we'll have to do it next turn. But if we get Grimgrin out, we can start sacking everything and get it all into the graveyard anyway, so... Alright, so it's coming in hot. It's going to see if he gains control of Liliana. Won't be the end of the world. If that's what he wants to do. Okay. Liliana switches side. Yasova promised her a corn dog, and she said, alright, sounds pretty good. So swinging in right now. And even if he does somehow get rid of one of his creatures, Liliana will flip and come back to our side. So... because it comes back under our controller side, or under the owner side, I guess whatever the correct terminology is. Basically, she flips because one of his creatures dies, then we get it on our side. Okay. Yeah, and he used the culling thing to get right there. So now we have an active Liliana, but he gets the 2/2 zombie. And we can go ahead and plus Liliana and get into some, how do we want to do this? Yeah, let's go and get down Grimgrin, because we can blow up our opponent's commander. Let's go black, blue. 1, 2, and 3. So we can go ahead and sack blood. Actually, let's go ahead and put the boots on there. Oh, dang it. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I was about to sack the... I'm rubbing my head right now. I was about to sack the Bloodghast to Grimgrin. And actually put the boots on Bloodghast, so... Oh well, but we'll bounce back. So let's go ahead and discard a card. Yeah, we'll put Vengeful Pharaoh in the grave. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, that was just simply a misclick right there. So before we jump into the comments, why'd you do that, man? Well, that was one of those things called a misclick right there. So let's get Vengeful Pharaoh in the graveyard. That way, if he does swing in, we'll be able to blow it up with Vengeful Pharaoh, and it'll go on top of our library. Okay. Yeah, that's a bummer, because now he can swing in and take out Liliana. Well, I guess we can still untap Grimgrin if he decides to swing in. So, and if he goes, well, it'll have hexproof. Yeah, we can still sacrifice a creature to untap it, so be able to block what he's got going on. Let's see what he's tapping for, though. Acidic Slime. Okay, man. Let's see what he chooses. Probably the Dimir Aqueduct. I would assume that's probably what. Yep, that's what he goes for. Blows that bad boy up. Okay, so he's coming in hot, so we're going to go ahead and sack the Bloodghast, untap Grimgrin. We can block on his commander. And then the Vengeful Pharaoh will take care of the zombie. That'll go on top. And then we can swing in for 6 next turn, blow up the acidic slime. Okay, so I was going to put the boots on the correct creature this time. Sorry about that, guys. Misclicks happen sometimes. It just gets a little frustrating sometimes if you make a misplay like that. So let's go ahead and we'll go and swing in right now because we can blow up the acidic slime. Always love whenever you swing in with a Grimgrin. You can just feel his big old, like, whatever that thing is, staff, I don't know, whatever you would call it, just coming in hot. I just love imagining it smashing our opponent's creature. Okay, so we're going to get in for 6, and that'll be the first damage that we dealt him. So he's going to go, that'll be 6 commander damage we've dealt. And let's go and activate Liliana. And let's go and chunk, let's go and put Golgari Thug into the graveyard. Because he's not going to be able to swing anything hasty right now. Now, as far as return target, yeah, it's from our graveyard. So if we plus Liliana one more time, it'll go to 7, and we can bring back Grave Titan and even give it haste off the Swiftfoot boots. So I think that's kind of what we're going for right now, is to plus Liliana one more time. Yeah, I like doing that. And we could have got down Zombie Master or Shepherded Rot, but I'm gonna crack this Esper Panorama to get into some blue mana. And our opponent does have that return on online permanence to their owner's hand in his hand, so we do have to watch out for that. So basically, when you're trying to play around like in a Cyclonic or Rift, when your type effect when your opponent has it, you just have to make your board not seem that enticing. Like, you don't want to do that, man. But it's probably what he's going for right now. Yep, there you go. Yeah, that Liliana's probably coming in hot. He's not really feeling that. Ooh, almost F6 through that. So we're going to crack this Esper Panorama, get into blue mana. Get Island going. Get that bad boy down. Bloodghast, come on. Yes, we'd love to get... Come on back, buddy. We miss you, man. And we don't want to dredge right now. Lord of the Undead. Okay. Actually, excuse me 1 second. Oh, no. I thought I had a cough, but never mind. Okay, so. We do have 4 mana. We can retry Liliana if we want to. We can get into... Well, actually, no, we can't. I was going to say, we can Shepherd of Rot, but we are really low on life to start doing that. Let's go and swing in for 2 right now, though. And we can get down Forgotten Creation. But to swing in next turn, we can pump it up with Lord of the Undead. It'll get +1/+1. Yeah, let's go for that. Let's get down Forgotten Creation. Because we're a little far away from getting Grimgrin down and activating Swiftfoot Boots, so we're going to get down Forgotten Creation. And it's ability to May ability, so we'll be okay on that one. And then let's go ahead and chunk. We'll go and put Vengeful Pharaoh in the graveyard. You know, he doesn't look like he's swinging in pretty hot right now with anything. Okay. So next turn we can get down the Lord of the Undead, and it'll give the Forgotten Creation, it'll be a 4/4. Then we get into just 1 more mana, we get into some Grimgrin action, sacking the Bloodghast. Okay, so he's tapping for 3 mana right now. See what he's tapping for, though. Drain Dynamo. Okay. But yeah, definitely going to get down. Probably, if we get to the 5th land, we'll go for Grimgrin. But if we don't, then we're going to try and go in for some Lord of the Undead. But we could preemptively get down Liliana. That way, if we get into something like a sack outlet, or we can flip her to get her going up again. Okay, so he's tapping for 6 mana. I don't know if he's got a... Oh, he's getting his commander out. Okay. And then he doesn't have enough mana, he can't gain control. Now, if we get into a kill spell, that would be awesome. But let's see what we get into. Now, do we want to chunk our hand right now? You may discard all your hands if you do draw that many cards. I don't mind getting a re-rack on this. I don't want to dredge right now. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. I was hoping to get into a kill spell. That'd be, ooh, Patriarch's Bidding, Mana Crypt. Ooh, yes. Okay. And I'm kind of tempted to dredge Golgari Thug. Now, as far as zombies go, we've got a nice little zombie mix in there. Yeah, because that's going to be a human. Let's go and dredge that. Rite of Replication. Okay. Okay, so let's get down Misty. Actually, if we get down the Colosseum, we can still get down Mana Crypt, activate the Threshold. Discards 3 cards. Wolf Vengeful Pharaoh, Lord of the Undead, Zombie Master coming in. Now, with Patriarch's Bidding, each player names a creature type. So he's got Acidic Slime, he's got Dragon. I'm trying to figure out what he would name. He can get down some Ulamog's Crusher, Annihilator 2, or Oracle. He doesn't have that big of a thing, so let's go and get down the Colosseum. Because if we cast it, you can get in for 6, gain control of target all artifacts, you can get our Mana Crypt, which drops down to 12. Now, if we get, I'm trying to figure out. So, if we get down the Colosseum, we activate it. Because they have Menace, we'll probably be able to close it out next turn, I would assume. Yeah, let's go and activate the Colosseum. So, we're going to draw 3. Then discard 3. Ooh, yes, I will take that. So, we're going to discard the Messenger, the Sidisi, Dead Sidisi. And let's go ahead and chunk the Astronaut's Altar. Get down the Mana Crypt. Let's go and swing in with the Forgotten Creation. Well, we don't have to swing in right now. Because we can leave it to block if he swings in with his commander. We'll go and swing in, yeah. Swing in Bloodghast too. Yeah, we'll go and go for that. Okay, so let's go and fire this Patriarch's Bidding off, naming Zombie. So we're going to name Zombie, see what he names. I would assume he names Hellkite. That's probably what he would name, I guess. He can gain control of one of our creatures, but with Urborg out, it turns all of his lands into swamps. So basically, we have the Zombie Master out there. We're going to be able to. They all have Swamp Walk, and then once we get, if we make it to next turn, get down Graph Harvest, then we can give them all Menace and Swamp Walk, which should be able to close it out. But as far as what he wants to name with Patriarch's Bidding, argument could be made for Ulamog's Crusher. Yeah, okay, so he names Eldrazi. Alright, ooh, look at that, Loses 2 life. Now, what do we want to grab something with the Exploit trigger? We can go ahead and Yeah, we'll go and sack the blood gas. That way we can get into land. Then we can search our library. Now we do we have a sack outlet? We don't have a sack outlet out there. Which we can get into a sack outlet. But I was thinking with the trigger, we're tapped out. Okay, so let's go. I'm trying to think what. Yeah, we'll go. May just go for like a Doomblade or something. We can go for Living Death, and that goes. Sidisi goes in, puts into our hand, so we could redo this again if we get down Grimgrin next turn. Sack everybody with the Diregraph. Yeah, we'll go and go for a Living Death because I don't mind flipping the graveyard again. It's a pretty powerful card to have in your hand. So Living Death goes to our hand. He's going to lose 3 life. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's going to be it for the turn. That's a nice little flip right there, man. Patriarch's Bidding is such a fun card, man. Look what we got going on. So as far as Zombie Lords, we've got Undead Warchief. We've got Diregraph Captain, Lord of the Undead, and some Zombie Master action. Now he does have Annihilator too, so we'll have to kind of see how we want to sequence this. But at least we can... oh, we got some Clone coming in hot. So we can... let's see who names the Clone. Okay, name's Sidisi. He's going to have to exploit a creature, which he'll have to exploit the Clone. Now if he swings in with Ulamog, and you have to grab a creature with power less than its power, so we basically don't have any creatures with less than power than his commander, so he's not going to be able to grab any of our creatures, but he can use the Sidisi trigger to get into something, so I'm curious what he's going to get into. But if he has some type of way to, like, Cyclonic, he's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He does have enough for Cyclonic Rift, so if he gets into that, so be it. But that was a nice little Patriarch's Bidding flip. And we still have Living Death to bring them all back, so if, well, we can chuck him to the graveyard. Okay. Hopefully, I'm curious to see what he's got coming in right now. Because he does have just enough mana for Cyclonic, I'm pretty sure. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 mana. Yeah, and if we had a... well, we could have sacked the Sidisi. We don't know. We don't know what's going on. Okay, so we got Annihilator 2 coming in. What do we want to sack? I don't want to sack any mana. Let's go for... Shepherd of Rot and Faith Stitcher. That way we can at least unearth it if we want to. And we can block with Sidisi. He's going to get 2 zombie triggers. There we go, dropping down 24. Let's block on Sidisi. Look at Sidisi blocking like a champ. Big ol' Ulamog Eldrazi coming in hot. Sidisi said, not today, son. Not today. Now... let's see what he's getting down. Blasphemous Act, yeah, okay. But at least we're going to get a bunch of Diregraph triggers. Oh, and that Living Death we have? That sounds pretty fun. Okay. I'm glad we searched up Living Death right there. Okay, so we got Diregraph coming in. Make him lose a bunch of life. I was really worried about a Cyclonic Rift, but I feel really good about it if you searched up Blasphemous Act. Okay, so we get Diregraph coming in. Goes to 22, or he's going to go to less than 22. Well, after 22 after the Diregraph. Okay, there we go. Now we can swing him for 4, drop him down to 11. He could have a counterspell. Just see what he does. But if he kind of taps out right now to do something, we can at least swing in for 4. And then we can cast Living Death. We don't. That's the only bummer is we don't have a sack outlet. But if we get into a sack outlet, we could sack all the creatures. So we'll see. Okay, so he clones our Dross Messenger. We're going to choose Tails on our Mana Crypt trigger. Lost a flip 0 for 1 on our Mana Crypt. Get into Doomblade. Okay. So let's kind of re-rag. Let's get Grimgrin back up. So he's got 3 cards in hand. We go for a Living Death. We're going to switch graveyards. We need to swing in for 4 at least first. Yeah, I'm just double checking that we don't have a. Yeah, we're gonna go in for living. We'll swing in for 4 first. Yeah, we need to swing in for 4 first because if we living death, then we'll lose the messenger. All right, swing in 4, drop him down to 11. Let's go and fire off this living death. Just get down sunken runes first. And then the blood gas is a May ability, so we don't have to do that. So it's going to use living death right now. We got double black, blue, double colorless. Okay. So he can swing in. Okay. So he's going to have his acidic slime. We have the Grave Titan. We have the Sidisi trigger. So we can grab his sack outlet off Sidisi. And then we have Doomblade to take care of his Hellkite Tyrant. Okay, so we've got the Dross Messenger. And now as far as next turn goes, so we've got our Grave Titan triggers coming in. Oh, he chooses Grave Titan. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and Doomblade, because we want to keep this all on the ground. So we're going to go ahead and Doomblade his Hellkite Tyrant. Okay, so that gets blown up, so he's going to blow up Urborg. Cuts off Swamp Walk on our opponent's turn. We have an exploit trigger now. And let's go ahead and sack the... we could get into a zombie trigger, but we'll at least flip Liliana this way. So we'll go and sack the Reform. That way we'll get into an extra... we'll get an extra creature right there. Alright, so Liliana's going to flip. We have the CDC trigger. Now we have to figure out what we want to grab again this time. Probably going to grab... Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to make sure we got all these triggers on the stack correctly. Okay, so we get the Reform going, CDC going. Yes, we'd love to use her ability. And let's grab a sack outlet. That is definitely what I want to do. And, excuse me, I may not... I thought I had put Bloodthrone in here, but I guess I accidentally had taken her out. Yeah, I guess I did. Excuse me on that one, guys. I apologize. I thought that we had it in there. So what do I want to grab into now? So we do have Lich Lord. We can get down Lich Lord. Do we have enough mana though? No, not enough mana for Lich Lord. Let's go for a Murderous Cut. Actually, no. We want to cast Grimgrin. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grimgrin will give us a sack outlet, and that's when we get into. We have 7 off Misty. Yeah, we'll go and get into a Temple of the False God. That way we'll have some extra mana. Okay. So Liliana's going to flip. Get these zombies right there. And then we can go and plus Liliana if we want to. Okay, we're just going to discard a card. And let's chunk the... we actually use Sign in Blood to honor opponents. So let's go and chunk the Golgari Thug right now. Golgari Thug goes into the graveyard. Okay. Now he does have... He can get in for 6 with the Swamp Walk on the 3 zombies right there. Okay, now we pass it to our turn. Pass it to our opponent's turn. Okay, so as far as next turn goes, we're looking at getting down Temple of the False God. We can get down Grimgrin, and then we can start sagging creatures to Diagraph to get into a bunch of fun stuff right there. Yeah, that's the game plan right now. Ooh, he's got a Pelucranos on top, man. I'm glad he didn't get into that one. But either way, man, this is pretty crazy. But he did blow up our Urborg, so so he's gonna be able to stop that right there. But once again, we've got, where's Sidisi? She's an 8-9, right? Yeah, 8-9, so Sidisi can stop that Ulamog's Crusher. Okay, we are at 4 minutes, so we're going to have to be pretty quick with this one. But if we cast Grimgrin, we should be able to sack. Yeah, we'll have enough Diagraph triggers to get it going that way. Ooh, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay, man. Oh, man. Talk about getting into Magic Junk Time right now. Okay, so he goes for a Brainstorm. Okay. Man, I'm nervous, guys. If we just get in some Grimgrin, I'm pretty sure we only cast Grimgrin once, I think. Yeah, it's been so long, I forgot. But we can at least swing in across the board. And if we have a bunch of stuff die, then we can make that work. Yeah. Okay, so he's getting on Soul Ring right now. Leaves him one card in hand. Now, what we could do with Ulamog's Crusher, we can... Hold on, before I start playing, let's see, he's tapping for some mana right now. I want to make sure we're not about to lose. Or he has some type of weird effect to bounce them all back. But if he swings in, we can get into this weird spot to where we can block one of a bunch of zombies. Train of thought, okay. So we've been drawing 2 cards off of that one. And that leaves him with just red and green, which I'm okay with. Okay. Ooh, he's got a Whelming Wave on top. Gets into Stomping Ground. Gains a life. Okay, so now with Ulamog we can... No, we'll go and block with Sidisi. I like that. Because we could get into spots where we just chump block with a bunch of zombies, and we'll get the extra Diagraph. We got Grave Titan coming in hot. Or not. Well, Ulamog has to attack either way. Attacks each turn if able. Okay, so we got Annihilator 2. Let's go ahead and... We'll sack the fish and the Bloodghast, because we'll get it back. So we'll get a 6/6 blue whale. And we'll go and block with the Sidisi. So I'll kill him right there. Okay. And we don't want to, well, yeah, if we get down Menace, we should be able to close it out. Okay, yeah. Mana Crypt trigger, we're at 4 minutes. We need to get this going. Okay, choose Tails. I think we're 0 for 2 on our Mana Crypt trigger. Forgotten Creation? No, we're okay. Now he's got 1 card in hand. If we get down Grim Harvest, it'll give all of our zombies Menace. And so that'll really complicate him blocking. He's got 1, 2. Don't want to Dredge Golgari Thug. Okay, let's get on Temple. That'll turn online. See how much Grimgrin cost. Return Bloodghast. See how much Grimgrin costs? It costs 6. Okay. So we've got blue, black, 1, 2. So we can sack whenever a zombie dies. Let's go get down Graft Harvest. I'm going to close these graveyards out so we can see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so let's go and swing in. Go to attack. Coming in hot. We're going to get the extra zombie triggers from Grave Titan. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to close it out now, man. Talk about getting down to the wire on this one. So even if he has some type of weird shenanigans, he can block. We just need to get 14 triggers, so we've got enough zombies. Yeah, we got the Menace, we got everything coming in. Yeah, because they have to be blocked by 2 creatures, and we'll have more than enough swinging it. Yeah, We've got a ton of damage swinging across right now. And then before we go to damage, we can still sack the extra creatures over here to get in a little extra fun shenanigans. Alright, so he's double blocking on the Grave Titan. Double blocking on the Vengeful Pharaoh. And then, yeah, okay, our opponent scoops it up. Man, that was a nice little match right there. We got into double graveyard recursion. Look at all of the beautiful zombies out that we've got out there. Oh, man. Let's re-rack. So we've got Zombie Master, Lord of the Undead, Vengeful Pharaoh. Yeah, that's a nice little match, guys. Alright, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks, guys.